That always freaks me out when it goes back like that. Good morning. It's a little early this morning. It's still dark outside. But I just couldn't stay away from my coffee. Anyways, I needed a break from my mom's house. Anyways. I'm a bit tired. I've been tired since, I've been having these issues with swelling. And the spirits came to me. And basically, I keep on saying that, I want someone to match me on my mind, body, heart, spirit, and on soul level, and being balanced with me. And I say those out there just because I get brought down in sickness and pain and stuff like that, and I age, doesn't mean I want someone that's, put their body through hell. I went through my phase where, I was intoxication or, fornication and stuff like that, and I came out of that. And now, and I have been for a while, doing my best of, keeping my body. And, just because it gets brought down doesn't mean I can't bring it back up as soon as I start feeling better, and I will. I won't give up. And I've been hit over and over again, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, trying to hinder my soul growth. And I was like, even when I get knocked down, I'm still growing in soul. I'm growing in spirit. I'm growing in mind. I'm growing in body. No matter what, I can be knocked down over and over again, and I'll still get up each and every day to do my best to grow in all areas. And that's what I said to the devil and the witches. I was like, I'm not interested in y'all's stupidity or y'all's, I'm not interested in sitting still in a box and looking towards others and praise and worship and going, oh, I wish I had their life, because that will never fucking be the case. I want to go adventuring. I want the life I want. To do as I want, not to glamorize other people's lives. That's not what I want to do. I'm not going to look to the gods of man and think, oh, they're glorious, because I don't want to be like them. I don't want to be like those celebrities, those politicians. I don't want to be like them. Or those of religion. I don't want to be like any of them. I don't look at other people's things or their lives and say, I wish, I could have that, because I don't, because it's just an image. And, I know the truth. The spirits speak to me whether they're in the flesh or not. And they tell me the truth of what is going on in other people's houses. And I don't want to hear it. Like when the spirit started speaking to me about things and the truth about, the others, I mind my own business. I don't care what's going on in their lives. I'm kind, compassionate, and, if someone needs help, whether it be to be a light and wisdom, knowledge, to help them when they're in need, that's fine. I'm very generous. However, I don't want to hear their biz. I don't care if they're in affairs or adultery or whatever like that, because that I don't think is any of my business. And, people confess to me things. Like, they'll just out of the blue, they'll confess. And, they won't know why they said it out loud. And I'm like, it's the spirit trying to talk and tell on the flesh. And, I tell the spirit, I tell that because there was a girl yesterday. She was like, yeah, I like to rip people off. And I was like, don't say that about yourself. I was like, you're amazing. And you need to build yourself up. Look, we can tear ourselves down in all little different reasons. We all have fell short in this world. However, we don't have to define ourselves by the sins that we have created or manifested or, been in. We can rise above that and, talk about our good, our goodness, what our goodness. Like, I'm generous, I'm kind, I'm compassionate, I'm giving, I'm wise, I'm not going to bring myself down. And I try not to bring others down, by complaining or, and that's what I'm going to start doing is try to, bring them up, as in, like, for example, my aunt has a sister, they're twins, and she fell off a tractor. And, my first reply was, why is she still, you know, holding on to something that's just dragging her down? But just because she's determined, and, she's, she just doesn't want to let go, but she's determined. And she's always, she has been kind. And, that's what I say is that I love those around me. And even though, uh, I don't understand what they do, why they do what they do, because it's just bringing them down. I love them anyways. You know, uh, I know why she does what she does, because she wants to keep on going. And it's bad that she has now got, broken hips and this and that. But sometimes when we go through something, our body's trying to tell us it's time to move on. And that's what, after I went through, basically almost a year of being here, it's almost become a year, and nothing good has come of it, I'm ready to move on. I'm not going to continue in this property to be brought down day after day after day, and be smacked back, because I'm not going to go against my spirit. I'm not going to go against my heart. My heart wants freedom. And I'm like, okay, it's time to go. And I'm not going to fight the bugs and the other spirits around me to hold on to this place. I was like, fuck, if y'all don't want me here, y'all don't want me here. If I'm not welcome, then I'm not welcome. And of course, when it comes to the spirits of Texas, they're assholes. And that's what I say to those out there. You need to wake up and realize that everywhere you're at, there's a spirit about it. And if they're not welcoming, or if you're not, a part of their clique, then they're going to treat you like an outcast. And, when you're an outcast somewhere, they do throw stones at you. They do come against you. They do, they do. They spit at you. They try to crucify you. No matter what you do, they'll try to crucify you. And to crucify you is just basically judgment, condemnations, and try to hang you, out on display, because they think you deserve that. You deserve public shaming. They'll talk shit behind your back. And no matter what you do, you'll have haters. And I've had that in the land of the dead everywhere I go. I've had haters, and I'm like, what the fuck for? Like, I'll have those that'll come against me and say that I'm a gold digger or whatever like that, and I'll be, because I don't want to sit there and be with them, so they automatically make, accusations against me. Men have made a lot of accusations against me, and they do, like, because I, speak my mind, I must be crazy, or, they don't like my behavior, so I must be on drugs, or, I've been bullied my whole life. My whole life have I been bullied. But now I stand up, and I take the blows of it, but I'm not giving into that. I'm not holding my head down in shame, or, I'm not admitting defeat. I sit there, and, when others about me are criticizing me, I'm like, there's nothing fucking good about you. You have no right to talk about anybody else. And that's what I said all out there. Nobody has a right to sit there and condemn you and judge you. None. Not even the judges and the prosecution of this land have a right to come against you, because they're nothing but liars, murderers, cheaters, fornicators, So just because they drag you into their courts doesn't mean you have to hold your head down. That doesn't mean you have to, take their shit. And I say to all those that have been incarcerated, I don't care, how they were walking in this world. I was like, rise up. Take down the justice system of man. Take down their understanding of law, because they're nothing good. They don't have protection. Not anymore. The God of man has grown old, feeble. He's on his last legs. So I say to all those out there, rise up and take out the one that sit there and persecuted you. Rise up. You don't have to take their shit. You don't have to be in prison. That's what I say to the fallen angels. Rise up. Your prisons are all in your mind. Rise up. It's not about a God imprisoning you. It's about you imprisoning yourself. So rise up. To the dragons, rise up. I already told the dragons, rise up. You're not imprisoned. You imprisoned yourself by going against the true law and true heart. You imprisoned yourself, not a God. The God of man is nothing except for a liar, and puts on a show that he's tough, but he's not tough. He'll take the credit for defeating others, but he never defeated anybody. I say rise up and take down what is perverse, because it has no right to be built upon the land in the first place. When I was going to church, my ex-husband, when I talk against the church because it was nothing but fucking hypocrites and politics and sports and shit like that, and he called me Satan. And I get so pissed off when he called me Satan, because I was like, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not the devil. I'm not the devil. He was the devil, because he was the evil one that promoted that shit. And you know what? If he sit there and spew that name at me that I was Satan, then whatever. If men think I'm evil because I go against their establishment, then so fucking be it. I'm not evil, though. But you know what? Men call what is good evil good, and what is good evil. They do. Because they have no understanding of true light or love. They don't. Not at all. I'm not going to say woman is any different, because their counterpart is not any different. Their understanding of love is not. Believe me, I've met many of women out there that are vindictive. And I've seen instances too. Not only have I dealt with it, but I've also seen others. Like, I was watching this one video, and several videos of girlfriends or wives sitting there. They get pissed off at their significant other for playing a video game, and they'll destroy what he loves most. And I was like, bitch, if he don't love you what's most, then get your shit and get out. Quit complaining. Quit. Just go. If he's not paying you no mind or trying to help you out, then fucking go. But don't destroy what is his. Now, I did have, an ex, and I keyed his truck, and it was a long time ago. And of course, I denied it until I didn't, And what had happened is, I was at the apartment, and, my kids were there, but they were older. Like, they were, I think my daughter was 12, and my son was like 14 or something like that. Like, they were older. And the Spirit just told me to go out, and my friend Mike had invited me out to get a drink at a certain place. And I know it was a setup. Anyways, I walk in there, and, the person I had been seeing that had been just raking me over the coals, and, he confessed he loved me and do things with me one time, and then at the other time he's out trying to run around like an alley cat, and I caught him there with his girlfriends, basically, dancing and having a good time. And, he didn't want me to go out. He wanted me to just wait at home like a fucking dog for him all the time. So basically, and he was playing this girl, his woman, and they were playing, and I sit there, and he got up to dance with one female, and I said, it was Michelle was the one that she was always fighting with me over him, and he was going back and forth and probably loving every minute of it because he had two women fighting. And, I said, I fucked your man yesterday because she was sitting there trying to put on a show that he was something good or blah, blah, blah. And he got so pissed off because I sat there and blurted that out. And I threw my fucking drink on him, which, it was a rum and coke, which I wasted my fucking drink. But, now I can't even drink, but I did enjoy rum and coke. I really did. It's my favorite drink. And tequila. Yeah. And, I wasn't drunk or anything. And then, they escorted me out. Okay. And then while I was sitting there, getting in my car and backing up and stuff, he comes just waltzing out to get another fucking thing, shirt because I spilled, he always carried his clothes in him because he was a fucking womanizer that always carried different clothes and also work. He always wanted to look his best. And so I just kind of started creeping my car towards him because I was going to run his ass over. And, of course, my friend Mike, jumped on the hood of my car and was like, Wendy, it's not worth it. Like in a big dramatic scene. I was like, fuck. Anyway, so I got out and I popped him in the face and then I went home. So, and I think that was the first time I really hit anybody. I was so fucking pissed off. I was. That's what it's like fighting your devil. You don't fight your devil because you never win. And that's what I say to all out there. I was like, you don't fight your devil because that's your counterpart right there. So, instead of sitting there trying to fight with your reflections, you get up and you move forward and you grow in mind, body, heart, and spirit. And so, because whatever you do to that counterpart is just going to fly back at you. Well, that's just the truth. And no matter how hard you try to justify it don't matter. You're still going to reap the karma of it. And I have, all my life, I have reaped the karma of dealing with my fucking devil. Because it has at different points. Like, I was hit in the face, and I didn't understand why, but it was way before I met him. Like, this girl, she punched me in the fucking face. We were dancing together, and she always had a fucking problem with me. I think it's because I made more money than her. Anyways, and she hit me several times, and of course I didn't fight back because I was like, well, what the fuck? I didn't know what to do because I'm not a fighter, and plus I wasn't angry towards her, so I was like, well, what the fuck, And but later on, I kind of see where that timeline kind of skipped, and I was divided because I sit there and I hit him, and just the shit we went through was back and forth. And now I don't have any attraction to my devil. See, once you grow in mind, heart, body, and spirit, and you grow in soul, you're not attracted to your devil anymore. You're not. And, even if you do have an attraction, it's not going to last very long. Because you're going to, see what that's all about, and you're going to move away. And, that's what the devil and his witches finally realize. He can't bring them against me because I'm not in competition with them anymore. And y'all probably think I'm crazy talking about this, but no. My counterpart is literally the devil. And I see him in different phases of his life. I do. I see him in different phases, and his companion. She has played many roles. They flip-flop. But now I am who I am. And, the spirits will come to me of different lights. You know, there's dark spirits and there are light spirits. And of course, some of them, you know, kind of vibrate differently. And they're always speaking to me about, you know, growth. And at the same time, you know, I don't mind growing and, you know, being, however, I am who I am. And I'm not ashamed. You know, they keep on coming to me and saying that I need to be more positive or this, that. And I was like, you know what? I am who I am. You know, just because I can't be a cheerleader, I can't put on that fake persona, fake face. That's never gonna fucking happen at all. That's not my personality. And I've had a lot come to me like I should be some kind of little fucking cheerleader, and I'm like, you know, I think it's because it's their delusional thought of what I should be. And you know, because I've noticed both men and women have had delusional thoughts of what I should be. Men, it's more like they put me in a porn scenario in their head. Like I've had literally men go nuts because they think that I'm cheating or this or that, and it's because it's all in their fucking head. And I'm like, I'm not doing those things. You know, I had one, of course, you know, it was a short-lived fuse, you know, but I'd go to the gym with him, and he'd sit there and accuse me of fucking somebody in the locker room at the gym he always took me to. And it was just a porno in his head all the time. And he was always beside himself because of it. And I'm like, I'm not fucking anybody else. I don't know what demon was tormenting him, but he was always tore up about it. And, you know, and I hated that gym. Really, I did. He always wanted to go to a certain one, and I couldn't stand that gym. And the women's locker room always smelled like shit. Like someone took a shit in it. And, you know, I was like, why? For one, you know, there wouldn't be people in the gym that I would, you know, find attractive enough to have a rendezvous with. And then the clear smell of the gym, you know, the ladies, wouldn't even call it ladies, but the female side of the locker room, you know, it would be nasty. Not to mention, they had cameras in the front desk right there where they could see, you know, who was coming and going into the bathroom at all, you know, the changing bathroom at all times. And I was like, you know, the thought never crossed my head. He just sat there and put his thoughts and you know, fed them to me. And I was like, and I got tired of that. I get so tired of men coming at me with their fucking pornographic thoughts. So I don't get on dating sites anymore. I'm like, because all it is them trying to fuck you through, you know, Messenger. That's all it is. They're trying to land on you through Messenger. I'm like, you know what, just go on. For one, I'm not interested in fucking nobody. If it's not love, then I'm not going to have anything to fucking do with it. And that's what I say. And that's my morning musings, because I gotta stop, because if I go too far, it won't download it. This phone's a bitch when it comes to doing anything over 30 minutes. Y'all have a good morning.